Stop creating chaos. You do not stand for me, and I want you to step down.
The mayor of Dalton, Tiffany Henyard, lashed out at her board of trustees during another tense meeting.
She vetoed the board's decision to require the village to open its financial books.
This what y'all say about the person. Y'all say he's never at work, he'll do his job. Is this what y'all say? So what we doing, guys?
I can say what I want because what I'm saying
Don't touch my son. Don't touch my son.
You know what I'm saying?
You don't have no warrant for his arrest. You don't have no paperwork or nothing.
You ain't no real.
In a shocking turn of events, the indictment of Dalton's police chief, B.L. Lacey, could have far-reaching implications for Mayor Tiffany Henyard's alleged corrupt empire. With federal charges looming over Lacey, the big question is whether Henyard's power structure is on the brink of collapse. Will her longtime allies spend years behind bars, or will Lacey turn against the mayor to protect himself? Lacey, a close confidant of Mayor Henyard, has been charged with serious crimes, including bankruptcy fraud, perjury, and making false statements. The charges stem from an investigation into a financial scam in which Lacey is accused of concealing his assets and income to avoid paying a hefty lawsuit settlement of over $440,000. The allegations claim Lacey attempted to cheat the system by declaring bankruptcy under false pretenses, leading to 9 separate charges against him. Each charge carries a maximum penalty of 5 years in prison. The legal troubles surrounding Lacey add to the mounting concerns about Henyard's administration. Federal prosecutors continue their investigation, with some trustees claiming that the $2 million budget deficit Henyard acknowledged is actually far greater, potentially amounting to tens of millions. Henyard wasted no time responding to the allegations, attacking critics and dismissing the accusations. However, the indictment against Lacey, part of a broader probe into possible corruption within the mayor's office, has placed her at the center of growing scrutiny. Lacey's court appearance in October saw him dressed in a blue suit, where he had a brief private conversation with his lawyer, Yao Peki, to go over the charges. Lacey entered a not guilty plea, and Magistrate Judge Beth Jantz ordered him to surrender his work-issued firearm, as well as 2 others from his home, in addition to his firearm owner's ID card. While these restrictions are not directly tied to his role as police chief, they highlight the seriousness of the case. Judge Jantz indicated that the restrictions might be reconsidered if Lacey's lawyer can demonstrate how they interfere with his duties. This investigation is part of a larger federal inquiry into potential corruption involving both Mayor Henyard and her police chief. Lacey's indictment is just the latest development in what could become a sprawling scandal that threatens the future of Henyard's administration. Federal authorities will continue their probe, with a status hearing scheduled for October 1st, before U.S. District Judge Thomas Durkin. As Lacey faces these charges and Henyard's administration comes under greater scrutiny, it remains to be seen whether this will be the scandal that dismantles the mayor's grip on power, or if her loyal police chief will manage to weather the storm.
Did admit to a $2 million budget deficit. However, trustees say it's really millions more.
Prosecutors have issued a new indictment against Dalton Police Chief B.L. Lacey, alleging that he orchestrated a scheme to commit fraud. This latest development adds to the growing controversies surrounding Mayor Tiffany Henyard, who has already been the subject of multiple federal investigations this year. Lacey's attorney, Yao Pepe, addressed the media, asserting that the charges against his client were part of a larger effort to damage the mayor's reputation and destabilize her administration. Pepe emphasized Lacey's long tenure and respected service, dismissing the allegations as politically motivated. He described the indictment as a witch hunt, aimed at undermining both Lacey's credibility and Henyard's authority. The situation escalated further when the village trustees voted to place Lacey on indefinite administrative leave. Pepe strongly opposed this decision, arguing that the trustees lacked the legal authority to take such action. He claimed their move was both unlawful and overreaching, as it circumvented established procedures regarding administrative leave and employee rights. Additionally, Pepe insisted that Lacey should continue receiving his salary, stating that withholding his pay would violate due process. He also suggested that the decision was politically orchestrated to further discredit Mayor Henyard, fueling the ongoing tensions and adding another layer to the legal battle. Pepe highlighted that the authority to sign paychecks ultimately rested with Mayor Henyard, implying that any attempt to withhold Lacey's salary could face legal challenges. This dispute has only heightened the already tense political climate in Dalton, especially as federal investigations continue to loom over the mayor's office. Supporters of both Henyard and Lacey argue that the accusations are strategically timed to create political chaos, while critics believe that the ongoing legal troubles reflect deeper governance issues within the administration. As the case unfolds, questions persist regarding the legitimacy of the indictment, the authority of the trustees, and how these legal battles will impact Dalton's political landscape. The U.S. Attorney's Office has yet to release an official statement on the details of the case, leaving room for further speculation and intensifying the controversy. Legal analysts suggest that this case could set a precedent for how future administrative disputes are handled, particularly when legal and political conflicts intersect. For now, the legal battle continues, with both sides preparing for what is expected to be a prolonged and contentious fight, not just over Lacey's career, but also the broader implications for Mayor Henyard's administration and its ability to govern effectively under increasing scrutiny.
It as well, but now Keith Freeman is cooperating, doing what he should have been done in the first place.
Cooperating with trustees.
With the trustee.
Lacey's financial troubles stretch back to the 1980s, with the indictment revealing that he filed for personal bankruptcy multiple times in Chicago. His most recent bankruptcy filings in 2019 and 2020 appeared to have been an effort to delay a settlement he had previously reached in a 2017 state court case. A broader investigation has now uncovered a consistent pattern of financial misconduct, with this case centering around a woman whose husband was murdered in 2012. According to the lawsuit, Lacey convinced the widow to hand over tens of thousands of dollars from her late husband's life insurance payout through a series of interactions. Court documents allege that Lacey concealed multiple bank accounts, misrepresented his monthly income, and falsely claimed in official filings and sworn statements that he was separated from his wife. While Lacey admitted in court records to expressing sympathy and checking on the plaintiff's well-being, he firmly denied taking any of the money. The lawsuit was eventually settled for $555,000, with Lacey making an initial payment of $112,000. However, fraud charges now claim that Lacey filed for bankruptcy twice after this settlement in an attempt to avoid paying the remaining $43,000. The indictment further suggests that Lacey manipulated his reported income to evade creditors by lying about his financial situation, including falsely stating that his wife did not contribute to his salary or house payments. This indictment is not an isolated event, but is instead part of a broader effort to dismantle what reports describe as a corrupt system deeply entrenched in Dalton's governance. Mayor Tiffany Henyard has now become central to these discussions, with allegations suggesting that she turned the Dalton Police Department into her own personal enforcers. Under her leadership, the police force reportedly engaged in acts of intimidation against political opponents, extorted local businesses, and provided private security services for Henyard and her inner circle. The indictment of Lacey, who served as both police chief and one of Henyard's most loyal supporters, is now seen as a significant step toward exposing and addressing the corruption that has plagued the community for years. If these allegations are proven to be true, the case against Lacey could represent the first step in a much larger effort to dismantle an entire corrupt system. Federal and state investigations remain ongoing, and this unfolding legal battle could have far-reaching consequences not only for Lacey, but for the entire political structure surrounding Henyard. The seriousness of these accusations underscores the urgent need for further inquiry into Henyard's administration and her influence over local law enforcement. With public demands for justice and accountability growing louder, this case may serve as the beginning of a long overdue reckoning for those accused of abusing their positions of power in Dalton.